an opponent since 2015. They held the Redfish to 131 total yards. ULM rushed for 311 yards, led by 113 yards from Braylon McReynolds, who also caught a touchdown pass. The Raging Cajuns kick off their season Saturday at 7 p.m. against Rice. Head coach Michael Desormeaux says he wants starting quarterback Walker Howard to play free while trusting his offense.
Just go do your job. You don't have to do anything more or less than what you do every day. We have good people around him. We've got really good players that are going to support him and play well for him around him. He just needs to go do his job and have fun doing it. That's what we've been harping on with him, and he's working hard to prepare to go out there and give his team a chance to win.
LRN.
KSYL.
On November 10th, 1967, Star Trek Season 2, Episode 9, here we saw the prediction of a computer-driven universal translator, any language used by any race of people. Sci-fi fans had no trouble with the concept. After all, it was the 23rd century. As it turns out, you don't need to wait a couple of hundred years. Stand by for September 9th, 2025. I'm Kim Commando for LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job for free. Find qualified candidates quickly. LinkedIn.com/Kim. On September 9th, Apple's taking the wraps off a number of new products. One of them will be real-time voice translation using your AirPods. You'll need to upgrade your iPhone to iOS 26, that's free, and also have AirPods Pro 2 or the AirPods 4. Initially, they'll translate 9 languages, including Spanish, Japanese, simplified Chinese, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, and Korean. One thing's for sure, it's going to make finding a restroom a lot easier. Get my newsletter at getkim.com. As a small business owner, you don't have the luxury of clocking out early. Your business is on your mind 24/7. So when you're hiring, you need a partner that grinds just as hard as you do. That hiring partner is LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free, share it with your network, and get qualified candidates that you can manage all in one place. Their new feature can help you write job descriptions and then quickly get your job in front of the right people. Either post your job for free or pay to promote. Promoted jobs get 3 times more qualified applicants. At the end of the day, the most important thing to your small business is the quality of candidates. And with LinkedIn, you can feel confident that you're getting the best. Find out why more than 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring today. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Do it today. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Reporting that the Cowboys are now listening to trade offers for Micah Parsons. What's your reaction to that?
Michael Parsons, say that you can report all you want. There's no way they're allowing Michael Parsons to go anywhere. All of it, all of this is part of the negotiations. And as I talked to Jerry the other day on my podcast, and he was talking about it the other day when he tried to make that offer, he said somebody told him to shove it up his rear and all of that. I honestly, it blew my mind. It blew my mind that any kind of conversation like that would be going on in a situation like this. Michael Parsons, I want him to take control of this thing and say, I don't care about you two and whatever y'all got going. Get your butts in a room and get my money on that paper. That's
1 minute later.
Oh my God, it happened? Michael Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. What is going on? This is the best day of my life. I don't even care what we gave up. The notification they gave through, I can't breathe. This is better than when we beat Chicago on that block field goal. This is the best day of my life. We're winning the Super Bowl. I don't want to hear from anybody. I'm so happy right now. You could ask me anything. This is amazing. Everything I said about Jerry Jones was wrong. Okay, he's a great man, great businessman. Love him to death. I'll defend him. Oh my, I cannot believe this.
You know, I got lots to say about this. One, we should inform the Green Bay Packer fans that Micah always folds in the big games. Ooh. Almost non-existent.
Okay.
He gets shut down very easily when you double, triple team him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very mad about it still because Micah was my favorite player on the team.
Oh, really?
By far. He kind of
National Weather Service in Shreveport has issued a flash flood warning for southwestern Caldwell Parish, north central Louisiana, Grand Parish, north central Louisiana, La Salle Parish, north central Louisiana, southeastern Wynn Parish, north central Louisiana, until 10:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time. At 7:19 a.m. Central Daylight Time, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard: flash flooding caused by thunderstorms. Source: radar indicated. Impact: flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying areas. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Winfield, Gina, Paula, Midway, Urania, Pollock, Dry Prong, Telos, Georgetown, Zenoria, Rochelle, Standard, Fishville, Burlington, Williana, Rogers, Nebo, Spalding, Bentley and Kelly. Turn around. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Be aware of your surroundings and do not drive on flooded roads.
All right, there we are, when we were so rudely interrupted.
Yeah, come on. No, I just read Nick's thing. We could expect to see possibly 2 to 4 inches of rain with isolated higher totals.
Yeah.
So he'll have a stream later this morning if you're interested.
Yeah, as I'm looking at the radar, it's crazy because there's a band of storms. It kind of starts around Texarkana and then just kind of goes diagonally. It almost looks like the 6th congressional district, to be very honest. Maybe a little wider.
Honestly, that's the best thing you could have said. I know exactly what you mean now.
Yeah, I like to paint those verbal pictures.
That's very nice.
And yeah, so it's kind of going that way. So we might have this rain for a little while here this morning. And Nick said it's the second of 5 or 6 bands of rain we could be getting over the next few days.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. And if there's any storm damage, please hit me up on Facebook. If you see something, say something to me. Please.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yes, back to our topic.
Okay, let me finish my thoughts here. The Green Bay Packers might want to pump the brakes a tiny bit. He's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually just mad.
Now, only 2 players have ever had 12 sacks or more in their first 4 seasons as a professional football player.
No, he's fantastic.
One, Micah Parsons. The other, can you guess?
Reggie White.
Reggie White.
And so he's a once-in-a-generation talent, possibly. You know, good for Green Bay. I hate Green Bay with a passion. It's Philly, Green Bay, and New York. However, Micah, it just kind of soured me at the end there a little bit. He's acting like a teenager on the sidelines, not really caring.
Yeah.
That's just kind of his personality, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have much of a filter either. And did you see Jerry's news conference?
Yes.
Where he called him Michael? Jerry, it's time to step down. Yeah. I know you're listening to us.
He is.
It's time to give it up. Let your son run it, and let him keep ruining the franchise, too, while he's at it. And that's because he spells Stephen with a P-H, Stephen Jones' son. So, yeah, I'm very, very irritated by it. Dallas got 2 first-round picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark. He's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
I think Jerry just does things that he did in the 90s to, like, relive some of those Super Bowl days when they got rid of Herschel Walker and everyone was ticked off, but they got all those picks from the Vikings, which led to the 3 Super Bowls, or a good, a big factor in that. So,
yeah.
I'm surprised. I thought they were going to work it out. I thought he'd still be on Dallas, and but that just didn't happen.
I remember when the Herschel Walker trade happened because I was working in Milwaukee on sports radio, and I had Brad Nessler on my show, who at the time was the voice of the Vikings, now is the voice of college football on CBS. Great guy, by the way. And that was a huge trade. Everyone thought that was going to be the difference maker for the Vikings. Well, we should have known it was the Vikings. So
nope.
They're not going to win a Super Bowl. And yeah, so we'll see, because the best laid plans and the trades on paper that look great, sometimes in reality, not only that, the Packers are paying him a ton of money.
Highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history.
Which I was looking at the number somebody posted on X. if you factor in Wisconsin's income taxes versus Texas, at the end of the day, he's only getting about $900,000 more over the life of his contract.
And that's actually something players really think about when they're trying to go to different teams too. Yeah. I mean, on gross income, it's about $6.8 million more a year than Dallas was offering him. But that's interesting you bring that up.
Yeah.
But maybe it was a pride issue too at the end of the day. However, $900,000 is not chump change.
Yeah.
You know. So,
of course, he wears number 11, which currently is worn by Jaden Reed, the wide receiver. So there may be some negotiating going on for him to get his number.
Who wears number 0? Because I always remember him talking about wanting to wear 0.
I think the Packers do have a guy that wears number 0, but that could be a possibility too.
I bet you that's what it is.
Yeah. Let me see. Packers number 0. I thought I saw a guy wearing that.
Maybe he can give him $900,000 and that number.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes they'll do that. Was it Adrian Cooper?
I don't know.
I thought they had a guy, but I could be wrong.
I mean, it could benefit Dallas. One thing Dallas actually does well is draft players.
Yes.
They're really good at drafting.
Yeah.
They suck at free agency.
See, the Packers are kind of the opposite. They tend to kind of suck at drafting.
Yeah.
Right now, they don't have a number 0. I know they've had one in the past, but so that could be a possibility.
I'm thinking that.
Right now, they just have him listed on the roster without a number. He's numberless.
Well, I think Dallas's chance at winning the Super Bowl the past 5 years has already passed. I mean, they had that great draft with Trayvon and Micah and all these different players. They had a veteran quarterback.
Yeah.
They had a good running back, decent wide receivers, great defense. And it didn't come to fruition with those rookie contracts. They won the games except in the playoffs.
All the fantasy football prognosticators are saying that Dak could have a really good year this year.
Yeah, well, he ain't going to win the Super Bowl. So.
Someone wrote in saying, tell Maxwell not to worry. Parsons still wouldn't have saved them from a beatdown from the Eagles.
They actually shut him down a significant amount of the time. Yeah. I mean, you're preaching to the choir, buddy. I know it. I'm a huge Cowboys fan, but I hate them more than anybody.
You hate the Eagles or you hate Micah Parsons?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, you hate the Cowboys?
They just drive me nuts.
Yeah.
So much pain and suffering. To me, since I've been alive, it's like rooting for...
It's like an abusive relationship.
Yeah, it's very toxic. It's like rooting for the Browns almost.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah, at least we do well in the regular season. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, Packers fans they're kind of like that team that they get to the altar and then they get left at the altar.
Well, they were on the cusp
of
a Super Bowl last year. Did they lose in the divisional? Or was it the champion?
Yeah, they lost to the Eagles. That was the game where the first play of the game, there was a fumble on the kickoff, and the review clearly showed it wasn't a fumble.
Oh, I was thinking of the Niners game the year before. Last year is just a blank in my mind.
Let me tell you something. As you get older, you will find that you can't remember last year or the year before, but you can still remember what happened when you were like 12 years old.
I know.
It's crazy.
Brendan commented, think of us Saints fans, Steven. I get that. However, y'all have had one in the last 15 years. Since I've been a fan, the Saints have won a Super Bowl.
I guess 2010, technically, after the 2009 season.
Yeah, about 15, 16 years. I just want to see Dallas at least losing a championship game. I want to know what it feels like to see him in a freaking championship.
I still kid my brother. He loved the Dallas Cowboys when he was a kid, and that game when they played Joe Montana and the 49ers in the NFC Championship, and he was getting mad and screaming and yelling, so we made him go to his room, and we had like a little black and white TV in there, and I guess he was watching it because when Clark made the catch, all you heard from the back hallway was... It was hilarious.
That's how I felt when I was 13 in 2007 when Dallas was the number 1 seed and they lost to the Giants in the divisional round. They won 13 games that year and lost to the freaking Giants.
What year was that?
2007 when the Giants won the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Against the undefeated Patriots.
Yeah. The year when Brett Favre threw an interception late in the game.
The Giants were just at the right time.
Had that year, but I almost think Favre was afraid to play the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That's kind of was his body language.
The Giants were the only team that could beat them.
They really were.
That was it.
Yeah.
I still think that year's Patriots team is the best football team ever assembled, even though they lost that last game.
Yeah.
If they would have lost that game in week 15, or week 16 when they played the Giants, it almost lost.
Right.
Got out the way.
Well, as a Dolphins fan growing up and through many of my adult years until they, in my opinion, did Marino wrong and they kind of broke my love for them. But I didn't mind seeing the Patriots lose that Super Bowl.
Oh, so I am a Giants hater, and I rooted for them in that game. Because the Patriots are insufferable.
Oh, I know. Speaking of Bill Belichick, did you see where he and his girlfriend have applied for several trademarks? One of them being the phrase gold digger.
Really?
Yes.
Might as well embrace it, right? You're getting criticized, might as well go with it.
The whole thing is so bizarre. So bizarre. What,
is she 40 years younger than him?
At least. Yeah. Maybe closer to 50.
And I heard she wears the pants in that relationship.
Well, they had that interview with him on CBS Sunday Mornings a couple months ago when the reporter asked, so how did you meet? And she said, we're not talking about that. And she was like sitting off in the background. We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
And Belichick just like, okay. He just looks like he's totally given up.
I don't. Who cares?
But yeah,
I can't believe he's in North Carolina.
I know. We'll see how that goes. I think they play Monday night against TCU at home. Big college football weekend. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But we have to take a break right now here on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Health officials are looking into a salmonella outbreak linked to eggs. They're packaged as large brown cage-free sunshine yolks and were delivered to grocery stores and food distributors with sell-by dates through mid-September. The CDC says they've sickened about 100 people across the country. Ford will stop producing the Escape and Corsair SUVs at the end of the year, but says it will have enough inventory to last through 2026, which could mean deep discounts for potential buyers. Parts availability is not expected to be an immediate concern. Raising Cane's is expanding with plans to hit 1,000 locations nationwide by the end of the year. The chicken chain tells Fox Business it's focused on connecting with college communities, opening restaurants near major universities. And Home Depot's 12-foot plastic skeleton has dominated yards for years on Halloween. Skelly back online for $300. But Lowe's just debuted its own giant lawn ornament. It's a 20-foot inflatable skeleton that's about $50 cheaper. Monica Ricks, Bloomberg Radio.
Well, good morning. Showers and thunderstorms with us throughout the day today. A 70% chance with the potential of some heavy rainfall. Afternoon highs will get up to around 80 degrees. Still a 60% chance of rain in the forecast overnight tonight, down to 70. And for Saturday, starting out with cloudy skies, partly cloudy in the afternoon with the highs near 86. A slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talkback.
Hey, congratulations to those NSU Demons. Their football team last night getting a victory over Alcorn State, their first win since 2022, over 1,000 days.
It was a rough year last year, some of those scores.
Yeah.
They weren't just getting beat, they were getting beat.
Pounded.
And so seeing them bounce back like this in week 1, getting it out the way, it's, Alcorn State, I even know who that is, that's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good for them.
Yeah, Alcorn State, not that far away from here. If you cross over the border into Mississippi, it's about 45 minutes from the border, something like that. I remember LCU played there. Oh, gosh, that might have been closer to 10 years ago now. Again, the years blur together, but anywho, congratulations, NSU. Now your LSU Tigers, they go at it tomorrow. They'll be at that other Death Valley, the fake Death Valley, as they take on the Clemson Tigers. Gotta say it right, Clemson, not Clemson. Clemson.
Clemson.
Yeah. Actually, my niece goes to that school, but nonetheless, should be an interesting matchup. LSU has lost their season opening game 5 years in a row now.
That's right.
Whew. This one won't be easy, but we'll see what happens. Not making it any easier is the fact that LSU's new shiny defensive back, A.J. Halsey, has been suspended for the first half. This news kind of came out of left field, surprised LSU officials and fans alike. But the story behind it is a little bit interesting. And here's the guy yesterday, goes by the handle Jack Mack, college football person that likes to talk about college football. Listen to this, how this all came about with the suspension of Halsey.
What Clemson football did in order to get an LSU football player suspended for their game this weekend against LSU is just top of the line, peak college football pettiness. One of the big games this weekend in college football is Clemson and LSU. Huge game on Saturday night. And in college football, where there's millions of dollars on the line every single game, you try to find every little advantage you can to win. While doing some research for the game, I guess Clemson found out that LSU's new safety, A.J. Halsey, who played on Houston last year, in his final game of the year, he got into a fight on the field. He was ejected from the game. In college football, if you get ejected from a game for fighting, and it was in the second half of the game, you were supposed to miss the next game's first half. When it happens in the last game of the season, it's supposed to carry over to the next season. But LSU had no idea that this happened. They probably forgot. They weren't accounting for it. That was until Clemson put a little phone call into the SEC and said, hey, AJ's not supposed to play the first half. Not even the SEC knew about this, let alone LSU. According to an LSU reporter with the last name Hunt, an LSU spokesperson said neither the SEC or LSU were aware of potential suspension and that Clemson reported the suspected issue. Now, AJ is suspended for the first half of the game against Clemson, who has a great passing attack. People are comparing Dabo to Tekashi 6'9". There's even a chance this all got reported thanks to a fan who tweeted about this morning. Later tonight, about 8 hours after the original tweet, and a few hours after the rumor started, On3 reported that A.J. Halsey will miss the first half against Clemson.
Isn't that wild?
It is crazy.
So nobody seemed to know, except some random fan realized it.
You play to win the game.
Yeah. So that'll be a little bit of a disadvantage for LSU going into that game, but we'll see if they can overcome it. Man, huge weekend of college football. And actually kind of got underway last night. I was watching the Wisconsin Badgers game on the Big Ten Network as they beat Miami of Ohio. But for the third straight year, Wisconsin lost its starting quarterback to an injury in the first half. The last 2 years, both guys were out for the whole season. And I'm not sure about this guy yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. Of course, they don't report during the game Billy Edwards Jr. was a non-contact injury. He was just he handed off the football and was just kind of running, and then he just fell down. I don't know if they've said yet what it could be, but that's brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Poor Badger fans. At least they got Micah Parsons in Green Bay.
And Nebraska played Cincinnati yesterday. Cincinnati is the alma mater of Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce.
Oh.
So Travis was at the game with his new fiance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah, they mentioned it a time or two during the broadcast.
I can imagine.
Oh, man.
Are they like America's royalty, like the royal family?
You know, that's a good thought.
Because we love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about the royal family, but it's interesting to hear all the news about it, the pomp and circumstance. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't do kings and queens here in America, so we got to have something. And I guess it's Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I know you're excited about it. You love it. And I know there's a lot of comments like, oh, it's so exhausting hearing it on the broadcast and seeing it on TV all the time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. I don't care. That's all the NFL is, and that's all college football is. We try and make it this some sort of religious institution. It's just entertainment.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of storylines coming up tomorrow. One of the key games happening right away will be Texas, number 1 ranked team in the country, playing at Ohio State, defending national champs, ranked number 3. We could see if Arch Manning is for real or not.
You know where he wants to play, right?
Who, Arch?
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys?
That's right.
Can
you blame him?
Well, now they've got a couple of draft choices that they can package in a trade.
I could see it. I doubt they draft a quarterback unless Dak just completely, gets injured for life.
Right. Right.
They spend way too much money on him, unfortunately. I like Dak. He's a nice guy. He's proficient, but that'll be an interesting game. I could tell you how out of the loop I am with college football just because I didn't know Texas was number 1.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Going in, but I mean, you rarely have the same team number 1 at the end of the season as at the beginning.
Yeah. They usually stay around the top 5.
Yeah, they will. I'm sure. But that'll also be the game that kicks off right after Lee Corso's final appearance on College Game Day.
Oh.
Lee Corso, I think he's been part of Game Day since its very inception. And just a legendary figure.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting a little old.
Yeah, he is.
He probably should take the break.
Right. They're going to give him his accolades and send him off, right? He'll don whatever mascot head one last time. He always does that with his little wave.
Oh, yeah.
You were mentioning royalty. Speaking of, did you see this cover that was going around yesterday on social media, especially on Twitter? It was a Vanity Fair cover with Melania Trump wearing like a crown, and the headline was "The American Queen, Melania Trump's Silent Revolution." Everyone was sharing it, but the only problem is it was fake. So can't believe everything.
Oh, it was fake?
Yeah.
I was about to say that's kind of weird.
Yeah. So anyway, hey, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more right after this.
KSYL. Talk back. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Okay, that might have been the shortest break in the history of radio.
That was pretty quick.
Yeah. That's telling me the next break will be 3 minutes and 53 seconds. Might want to balance those out a little more.
You could take a breath or two.
Yeah. So sorry, we were talking with one of our colleagues. We thought we had time. She informed us that we have donuts and kolaches in the break room.
I do like some donuts.
And I had to basically grab Steven by the scruff of the neck to keep him from running out.
Yeah, almost left. But I got a job to do.
You love your donuts. You don't eat a ton of them, right?
I don't think so. I like them.
Yeah.
You do too? I could go for a good maple donut.
I'll usually just cut off a small piece just to get a taste, because I know what it'll do to me if I eat a whole one.
No, I hear you.
Not a good effect.
I like donut holes. Big fan of those.
Yeah.
Little bite-sized pieces makes you feel better when you eat them.
I'm not sure where she gets the donuts from. She usually brings them in every Friday, but the kolaches she brings in are really good. They're just like little mini kolaches.
Oh, are they?
Uh-huh.
Nice. We'll go check them out in the long break.
Yep, we will. So
don't believe everything on social media.
Right. So apparently,
that'd be a weird headline.
Yeah, apparently Melania is not on the cover of Vanity Fair. And that actually has been kind of one of the criticisms during the first Trump administration, it was, too, that normally a first lady is going to garner some kind of cover article in these women's magazines, but they don't do that with her. Which is a shame because, again, it's more associated with who her husband is. But, I mean, if you take her on her own, she's a very impressive lady.
Yeah, she's kind of out of the limelight compared to the others.
Oh, totally.
That's maybe a reason why, too.
Yeah.
I think she doesn't want to.
I think especially during the first administration, she was, because she didn't want Barron to be in the spotlight. She wanted to kind of let him grow up a normal life. But I think the game changer for her, because you really kind of saw it even in her messaging of what she wore on Inauguration Day, was when the special agents or whatever went through her underwear drawer at Mar-a-Lago when they did the raid. Just the whole violation of her privacy and her family's privacy, I think, changed the way she feels about a lot of things.
I think when they have like a raid like that, they're gonna go through everything no matter who you are, right? I don't know. I don't want to go down that road.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I saw she posted something yesterday.
Right after
about
the shooting?
the shooting.
Yeah.
And we can go to that in a second. I'll have it pulled up. The one thing I wanted to bring up about that shooting is I think people barely talked about it, like in society compared to what we usually would. Like I had to tell multiple people it was actually happening in my everyday life.
Really?
Yeah. And then it's not like the front and center of the news anymore, it seems like. I just feel like we move on very quickly from these things. That's my observation. I could be wrong.
The right-wing cynics would say the reason is because the shooter was trans.
Right-wing people would say that? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because usually when the shooter doesn't profile the way they want them to, this is what I see people saying all the time on social media, then the media barely covers it and moves on to the next thing. Now, in fairness, listening to CBS this morning, that was their lead story.
No.
They focus actually on the two victims, the 10-year-old girl and the 8-year-old boy. Oh man, just rips my heart out, especially I think it was the father that they interviewed, and his name was Fletcher Merkel, which kind of hit home because I have a good friend that works down in New Orleans, used to work in this market, Fletcher Mackel, very, very close to that same name. But no matter how you feel about it, my goodness.
I'm sure they're covering it with diligence. I'm just saying from like my personal.
Yeah.
Like when I talk to people, no one's really talking about it like in my everyday life like they usually would.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. So maybe the people I'm talking to are just busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But interesting stuff. Awful story. It'd be interesting to see what else comes out of that. I mean, it's a miracle that, I don't want to say miracle, but it could have been much worse too. I mean, that all the people who were injured are going to survive. Thank God for that. So,
yeah,
it's just horrible. And we talked about it almost for a whole hour yesterday. We thought our solutions are on that. And I just think it's pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning. 2 quick points. Number one, while Melania is a nice looking lady, she looked a lot better. Is it just me, or is she starting to get like almost a hard look about her? I mean, still pretty, but
yeah, I know what you're saying. And again, you kind of wonder if that public spotlight, and especially what was done to her family and her husband, hasn't given her a little chip on her shoulder. I mean, it would be hard for someone to not react that way, especially if you feel like a lot of it that's been done was done in an unjust manner.
Yeah. Well, hey, look at Barack Obama. Oh my gosh, he's all great now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can always see that over the course of a presidency.
Donald Trump looks weathered too.
Yeah, a little bit.
He does, but not to the same extent unless he's got a better makeup artist.
No. Look at him and I'm not saying this is bad. Like, this happens to everybody. It's the hardest job in the world. You look at it from 2015 to now, it's significantly different.
Yeah.
Significant.
I'm not going to disagree with that. Regarding that shooter, I wonder if we're going to two things. Number one, I wonder if we're going to hear whether or not this individual was on SSRI meds or not.
Right. Yeah, that's been another topic I've seen discussed.
And the second thing is, if they keep it up, the trans people are going to be badly overrepresented in mass shootings as a percentage of the population.
Yeah, we had a caller yesterday that called and cited some statistics that already are showing that. And when you look at over the last couple of years, there have been a number of them where that's been a factor involved.
Well, I mean, if somebody's filled with self-hatred, and this, if you feed this kid stuff and everything, he didn't care apparently if he lived or died.
Right. He had reached the point where he even said he regretted trying to become trans, and it would have cut his hair, but he would be admitting defeat, and he was just a messed up soul. I mean, it's very sad when you see people in this world that for whatever reason, they've just gone down a path that's very dark. And obviously, if you get to the point where you can, in cold blood, just walk up to a church and start shooting into it, knowing that it's filled with children, I mean, the devil has your heart at that point. There's no question about it. And this guy just very, very dark. Very dark.
I'm not going to agree with that. I disagree with that. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, it's sad, and of course everybody's screaming about gun control. But I will point out here again, this guy was he bought his stuff all legally. He was over 21.
Right.
And here's the other one. No less than both the Second Amendment Foundation and the National Rifle Association has been trying really hard to get people who have been under psychiatric care to be reported as a person of interest under the NCIS check system. And the American Psychiatric Association has fought it tooth and nail.
Huh. Interesting. That is interesting.
You can go look that up. And they say, oh, it's in the interest of privacy. Well, okay, I'm not talking about somebody that just went and sat down 3 or 4 times with a psychologist. I'm talking about somebody who is, quite concerned.
Yeah.
Concerning,
Right. Well, and this guy, I mean, he wasn't really on anyone's radar. He did put in his screed that he wrote that he was watching a lot of YouTube videos and things like that had to do with mass shootings. So he was thinking maybe officials would start noticing that. But, I mean, he had no prior record. The other thing that's really interesting is that his mother has basically ghosted the officials that are investigating this. So people are starting to ask some questions about this, like what's with her at this point? And she's hired a lawyer already who's fielding all questions. Maybe it's just being overcome with grief. I don't know, but it does seem a little odd that she's been avoiding.
Well, I think that would be the advice of her lawyer, because they're coming. Yeah. I mean, we've seen parents prosecuted.
That's true.
For school shootings or just shootings in general, their kids committed. So
usually,
she has to protect herself.
It's a minor.
Exactly. This guy was 23 years old. You can't hold his parents accountable unless he's declared incompetent.
Right. True. It's a good point.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess we'll see what we'll see. But my point to a lot of people, 2 things. Parents, if some psychologist said you want a live boy or a dead girl, or vice versa, on transing, give a second opinion.
Yes.
And number 2, to anybody out there, if you feel yourself getting on the edge like that, go sit down and talk to somebody who's qualified, whether it's a psychologist, a pastor, whoever.
Yeah.
Your priest, whoever.
Well, the sad thing is we probably have all known somebody, maybe not everyone has, but I can think of at least a couple of people I know that needed help, went to a medical provider or psychological person of some kind, and were prescribed things that made them do not the best things.
Well, that's why I said I would suggest a psychologist first, because they don't they don't prescribe medicine normally.
Yeah. I mean, we know that side effects of some of these things can be at times pretty bad.
I mean, look at aspirin. Aspirin's one of the most harmless things out there, but you overtake it and you can get stomach ulcers.
True. Yeah.
Well, y'all have a good day. Have a good rainy day.
Yeah. Hopefully it clears up a little, but right now it's a little soggy out there. So thank you for the call.
All right.
We appreciate it, and we'll be back on Talk Back with.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
The world once needed lots of paper made right here in central Louisiana. Now we're making a comeback with clean methanol. Beaver Lake Renewable Energy will turn Louisiana wood into fuel, creating hundreds of direct and indirect jobs and giving loggers a steady market again. It's not just a plant, it's a promise to our land, our people, and our future. Visit beaverlakerenewable.com and find out how we're putting central Louisiana back on the map.
All of us have that one friend who can just light up the room with a smile. And sadly, how many of us are just a little bit envious of that friend? Well, here's the good news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver that beautiful beaming smile. Over the years, hundreds of hopeful patients have visited and been completely satisfied. They've made getting dental implants an amazingly simple, low-anxiety procedure, one that's affordable for anyone's budget. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you feel comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. isn't it your turn to light up that room? Give today's dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cenla's best at Bricato's Restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt in your mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
Hey, y'all, head out this weekend and find a festival near you. August 29th through August 30th, Cane River Zydeco Festival in Poker Run in Natchitoches. August 28th through September 1st, Shrimp and Petroleum Festival in Morgan City. August 30th, Southwest Louisiana Zydeco Music Festival in Opelousas. August 31st, Southern Soul and Blues Festival in Shreveport. Visit festivals.explorelouisiana.com and make your plans to Laissez Le Bon Temps Relais.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay, gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back here on your Friday morning. Al Quartermont, Stephen Maxwell. Our phone number on the BOM Bank talk line is 318-442-8255. As folks are getting ready for the Labor Day weekend, some of you maybe already are heading out. And if you're listening to us in the vehicle or on the app as you're driving, be careful with all the rain and water out there. It's going to be around for a little while. Hopefully you're driving maybe to a drier spot this weekend than we are going to have here. So won't be a lot of cookouts and barbecues, I don't think, the way the weather's looking right now, which is a shame.
Yeah. And I'm going to go back to the shooting thing, and we keep talking about it. I don't want to spend the next hour on it, but, you know, we keep talking about the evil. I mean, evil's been around since the beginning of mankind, but we do know how to protect ourselves, and we have that capability to protect ourselves from evil. We know the solutions to that. And if money's an issue, why do we make money an issue? What are the other factors keeping us from doing that?
Yeah.
And I just don't I don't personally understand that. And maybe we can get some experts on here as to why that doesn't happen or why it's not prioritized. But I think it's because these things happen and the shock and the awe goes away after a little while, and then you become desensitized to it, and you still think it's not going to happen in your own backyard. But it could still happen. And we have the knowledge on how to protect ourselves, or at least better protect ourselves.
Right.
And it confuses me as to why this is not happening across America.
Yeah.
We know this is a problem. It's not just from a certain group of people. Maybe they're the most recent have trended that way. It's coming from all sorts of demographics.
Sure.
And we need to figure out how we can protect our children, the most important assets in our community.
I agree. And unfortunately, like we talked about yesterday, conversation tends to always go in one direction, which is always going to be more gun control, even though we have lots and lots of laws already. And again, this guy got what he got legally. So clearly should not.
Well, let's let Minnesota talk about gun control. We can talk about doing other things here. You know? Yeah. That's fine. I just don't understand.
There's this Second Amendment thing.
You've been listening to Talkback. I agree with you. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez, and we begin with developing news from Washington. President Trump has just canceled Kamala Harris' Secret Service protection. Correspondent Michael Wallace.
The former vice president's detail will leave her Monday. The Secret Service usually protects a former VP for 6 months after they've left office. Had President Biden not extended Harris's protection, it would have expired last month. The cancellation comes as Harris is about to start a nationwide tour promoting her new book about her presidential campaign.
Heartbroken parents are sharing memories of 2 children shot to death in a mass shooting at a Catholic school chapel in Minneapolis this week. CBS's Jared Hill.
A coward decided to take our 8-year-old son Fletcher away from us.
Incredible sadness for the families of Fletcher Merkel and 10-year-old Harper Moisky, killed when a person opened fire on Annunciation Catholic Church Wednesday. Harper's parents wrote they are shattered and called on leaders to do more to address gun violence and mental health. The mayor of Minneapolis called for stronger gun safety laws.
There is no reason that someone should be able to reel off 30 shots before they even have to reload.
Law enforcement sources tell CBS News the shooter visited the chapel just a few weeks ago and told an employee it was about reconnecting with faith. 4 high-ranking officials at the CDC have resigned in protest after the White House dismissed Director Susan Menares in a battle over vaccine policy. Among them, Dimitri Daskalakis, who headed up the National Center for Immunization.
Something is wrong when politics rules science, and we're not able to have the best science, true gold standard, make sure that we're doing the right thing for the people that we serve.
The administration has tapped Health Secretary Kennedy's top deputy, Jim O'Neill, as acting CDC director. 20 years ago today, Hurricane Katrina slammed into the southeast U.S. coast, and they're still rebuilding in places like Biloxi, Mississippi. Mayor Fofo Gillish.
We can't bid these last 2 projects unless we have assurance of funding.
He says it's been a constant battle with FEMA. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have gone public for the first time since the NFL star put a ring on it. The singer's giant mine-cut diamond was on full display when she entered Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where she and her new NFL star fiancé made their first public appearance as an engaged couple. They took in a college football matchup between Travis' alma mater, the Cincinnati Bearcats, and the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and their presence wasn't lost on the announcers.
Congrats to the newly engaged couple. It's a love story, baby. Just say yes. I love it. Yes.
Dow futures down 110. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Colleen Crane. Hurricane Katrina came ashore 20 years ago today. The rescue efforts in the immediate aftermath were infamously challenging and chaotic. Here's Andrew Greenstein.
With tens of thousands of people stranded on rooftops with no indication of when they would be rescued, Lieutenant General Russell Honore was called on to lead Joint Task Force Katrina.
It was a very surreal moment at that time with all those people standing outside needing to be evacuated.
Immediately upon his arrival, General Honore took charge, barking orders at everyone from first responders to police officers, with one moment leaving an indelible mark.
Weapons down! Weapons down, damn it!
Honore Honoré told me that stemmed from a comment Governor Kathleen Blanco made about giving the green light to police officers shooting looters.
I said, these people are going in these stores to get food and water. We don't want to shoot them. We don't want to shoot our own people, Governor.
I'm Andrew Greenstein.
And I'm Colleen Crane on Louisiana Radio Network.
Close your eyes and feel the sun-drenched breeze of southern Spain. From whitewashed villages to golden beaches, this is where history meets passion. Moorish palaces, flamenco nights, and unforgettable tapas. This small group, escorted by Annie and Christine in March 2026, will visit Seville, Cordoba, Granada, Marbella, and more. Join our spectacular Spain tour, beaming with culturally rich and local experiences. FreedomTravelLLC.com, your international travel architect.
Good morning. Showers and thunderstorms with us throughout the day today. A 70% chance with the potential of some heavy rainfall. Afternoon highs will get up to around 80 degrees. Still a 60% chance of rain in the forecast overnight tonight, down to 70. And for Saturday, starting out with cloudy skies, partly cloudy in the afternoon with the highs near 86. A slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. From the Zenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
All right, we are back on Talkback. Alan Stephen with you on a Friday as we get ready for a 3-day Labor Day weekend, and hope everyone has a great weekend. We won't have a show on Monday. Not sure what Dave's got scheduled, but usually either does a best of Talkback, which would be hard to pick because there are just so many great moments on this show right now.
Oh, like the whole show is the best moment.
Exactly. Steven's got his donuts over there. What did you grab?
Got a bear claw, and it looks like an Oreo dusted donut.
Oh, yeah. Those are always good.
I don't know. I don't even taste the Oreo, but it tastes good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would consider it Oreo.
And he's not eating the entire bear claw or Oreo donut. He just has little pieces he broke off.
That's what you do, too.
Yeah, I do. Just a taste.
I just don't want to commit.
Yeah. Then you got to work out that much harder later today.
No, I just don't want to waste it because I don't think I'm going to eat a whole donut.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone does in there. They cut off pieces.
What's your go-to breakfast in the morning?
Oh, it just depends. This morning I had teriyaki beef and rice just because it was easy to make.
Oh, really?
I just eat anything I can get at this point.
Is it like leftover or?
Yeah, I cook like rice and meat.
Yeah.
For the whole week. And that's a good way to get protein in the morning.
You still eat a lot of Brussels sprouts?
No, I actually bought some for the first time in a couple of years last week and just let them sit in the fridge.
Remember when we worked in the newsroom and Steven, like every day, would eat Brussels sprouts, like roasted Brussels sprouts, but when he warmed them up in the microwave, it stuck up the whole newsroom.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Everyone hated that.
Fish and Brussels sprouts.
Oh, gosh. Like that and cauliflower are like the 3 cents that'll make me gag.
That was around COVID. I was very strict with my diet to see what I could do.
Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore. You get pretty miserable. You know, you got to have a good balance.
Balance. It's the key.
Yeah. You got to balance everything.
And what's more balanced than Talkback?
That's true. We got you, then you got me.
I had to laugh yesterday. Somebody made a comment on our show saying we're the new Hannity and Combs.
I just think it's more like, I don't know, Hannity and John Bolton. I don't know.
John Bolton? That dude just got busted. They just raided his house.
Yeah, they raided Trump, but it wasn't a big deal then. So
yeah. Well, they're saying Bolton had absconded with classified information that he used when he wrote his book.
Classified information, you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
I say. They say.
All right.
I don't know who they are, but... Okay, can I talk about something that is in the news, but I don't know that people really realize what's going on because we just kind of hear the typical, as Rush used to call it, drive-by reporting. This has to do with the CDC right now. You might have heard that the director was fired after not even being in her role for a month. Her lawyer says she wasn't fired. Now, some other leaders have been resigning, and the CDC offices are in Atlanta. And when people were walking out yesterday, you had some other employees that were out front and giving them applause. And people are saying this is more about politicizing science, which is a grand guffaw, laugh out loud moment for me when we talk about who's been politicizing science. My goodness. Anyway, so this woman's name is Susan Monterez. She was not really the preferred pick to lead the CDC by President Trump or RFK Jr. Now, this is according to Anna Mattson on X, who is a political and market researcher, independent podcast host. She said, and she notes, and you might remember this, when Dr. Dave Weldon was first nominated for CDC director, but was pulled at the last hour because he didn't have enough support from the Senate. That's when Monterez was nominated. Kennedy at the time showed public support, but a few people were skeptical, saying that maybe Kennedy sort of went along with this rather than it really being the person that he wanted. So what was kind of more behind it? Well, according to Mattson, this has a Bill Cassidy link to it, Senator Cassidy. So in exchange for confirming Kennedy in the Senate, she notes, Cassidy had actually a pretty long list of demands. First of all, saying that he and RFK Jr. would have a close working relationship with multiple meetings a month. Cassidy would help hire for health agencies. Kennedy would work with current safety monitoring systems, maintain the CDC's advisory committee on immunization practices and recommendations without changes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that Cassidy would use his authority to rebuff any attempts to remove the public's access to life-saving vaccines without ironclad evidence that would say otherwise. And she puts a link to a speech he made on the Senate floor. So what she is saying is it's being speculated that Monterez had actually been picked by Senator Cassidy, and then less than a month after she was confirmed, she was ousted. The story was leaked by the Washington Post, and then HHS confirmed it, but her attorney says she's neither resigned nor been fired. An anonymous source said Kennedy instructed Monterez to fire the top leadership in the CDC, but instead she called Senator Cassidy, and that's what put Kennedy over the edge, demanding her to leave. And then soon after she was fired, top CDC officials started to resign, and including a guy, Dr. Dimitri Desgalakis.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Who?
So the controversy is, should she be fired or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Would the president fire her? Is that the only? I think that's what she's claiming is the only person who can.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she also goes into some of the people that have resigned or are stepping down. But it comes as Secretary Kennedy at the administration meeting the other day, where they had the press conference, announced his findings on the cause of autism. And, so I don't know if there was pushback on that.
When is he supposed to release that?
I thought he said he would be doing it next month, early September. Mm-hmm. So there's just a lot of talk about this and where it's all going. Cassidy, on his part, has tweeted saying these high-profile departures will require oversight by the HELP Committee. That's the Senate Committee on Health. So I don't know. This will be very interesting to watch where everything is going. Now, what's ironic, this same person, Mattson, pointed out yesterday that all of the Democrats that are criticizing this now actually, in the vote to confirm Monterez, voted against her. But now that it's politically expedient to show support for her, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, if the president doesn't want her there and it's in his right to fire her, he can do so.
Right, right.
But a lot of what we're seeing now, I mean, this is exactly what the American people voted for. Like they didn't hide that during the campaign.
Right, right. And I do see a lot of people post things like that. where they'll say, they'll talk about things that are happening that people are talking about, criticizing, whatever, and they'll say, this is exactly what I voted for.
Yeah. Same with the immigration.
Yeah.
He said he was going to do it.
Now, I think when it comes to health, if there's one thing that Trump and Kennedy need to do, and not just them, anybody who'd be in the position right now, excuse me, is to restore confidence and trust in public health and medicine. Because I think what came out of the pandemic now is so many people now are so much more skeptical about everything, because people feel like in a lot of ways they were lied to. I even saw an interview yesterday. The actor from Lake Charles, what's his name? Played Shazam.
I don't know.
He was doing some kind of podcast, and he was talking about that fact as well, that, what basically happened during COVID and with the vaccine, the way it was rolled out, the way that it didn't really go through the same kind of rigorous testing and such that we've seen in the past. Zach Levi, he made a claim. He had posted around that time, Pfizer's more dangerous than it is helpful. And he was on this podcast. It was Sage Steele's podcast. She used to work for ESPN. Now she's more of an independent journalist. But she was asking him if he regretted tweeting that, because his publicist begged him to delete it and warned him he'd lose jobs from it. It was right when the second Shazam movie was coming out, and he didn't back down at all. He basically said, now people are trying to revise what happened and do revisionist history, but he was calling out what exactly happened. So all of that to say, I think there's a crisis of confidence in a lot of things right now in our country. And it's very interesting, kind of this connection between Cassidy and Kennedy, because Cassidy is telling people if it wasn't for his vote, Kennedy doesn't get confirmed. But really, if you think about it, every single senator that voted for him could probably say that, right?
Yeah. I mean, you make concessions in politics.
Yeah.
Nothing new. So.
Right. But I don't know.
I'm curious about the whole autism thing that he's talking about.
Yeah.
What his report says.
Yeah.
I think we're all eager to say that.
Right. Because there has to be an explanation. I mean, when I was growing up, we never even heard of autism, had no idea about the concept. And if you look at the incidence rate, like when I was a kid growing up in the late 60s, early 70s, it was almost nil. Now, like in California, what is it, like 1 out of every 10 males, something like that, 1 out of every 17? I mean, that's just not acceptable.
I've heard arguments from both sides, and it's like one of those expertise things.
Yeah.
I mean, they say the spectrum is wider now. They just didn't diagnose things back then. So now we're diagnosing them.
I mean, I get that.
That's a huge factor,
but I can't, there's no way we can say that there were that many people that went undiagnosed. I mean,
it just wasn't diagnosed the same way, correct?
Well, I didn't know I can't think of anybody that would have even exhibited signs that they would have been on the spectrum.
Well, you see people now that you may not notice they are on the spectrum, and they are. So I don't know if that's a good argument for it. Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I mean, I'm talking about young people that are clearly debilitated by this, that really have no hope for a normal life. That just wasn't a thing. About the only special needs students I remember, like in my grade school, junior high, high school, we had one young man who would have been considered, I know it's not politically correct to say it this way, but back then, you know what I'm going to say. The initials are MR. But we called him that all the time. That was just what you did. That wasn't any kind of disrespect. And actually, he was actually really embraced by our school. And one of my friends was his brother. I grew up in the same neighborhood as he did, and we'd play with him. And, it's just, he had that Down syndrome or whatever. So, but I don't remember anyone being anything even close to being what we would kind of see as classical autism.
I am no medical expert. That's all I can say. I just, from what I understand, is they've widened the spectrum. They diagnose more now. There's different things they diagnose than they did back in the 70s and 80s, and there are tons of people who would be considered on the spectrum that you may not see it with your own eyes. In everyday life. That's the extent of my knowledge. I'm just curious to see what they have to say about it.
Yeah, no, I just think
we can talk about vaccines.
We deserve
so we turn blue.
Answers.
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
But it's just like this. It's like this nebulous thing. Like,
hopefully, it's not the vaccine that makes you turn blue.
I knew you were going to say that. But
you did?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And well, so this is what people voted for. Let's see what they have to say. Let's give them a chance.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with it or not.
Yeah. But I mean, as you mentioned, there's so many factors that play into it, not the least of which, in fact, what always is the most of which, money.
That's on both sides.
Money.
MAGA loves money too, baby.
Of course. Yeah. But
the president has enriched himself since becoming president even more.
Yeah, you mean to tell me that you haven't bought the Trump watch?
I haven't. But if I felt like it could make me some money, maybe I would.
Trump shoes?
I have not bought any Trump shoes. Or Trump meme coins or Melania coins. And, I'm just not smart enough for that kind of financial world.
You should start your own Stephen Maxwell TV meme coin.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it'll sell by the ones.
By the ones. Might make $5.
$5. Hey, that's $5 more than I had for something that doesn't even exist.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more after
You do
this.
an Al non-fungible token. Isn't that what they call them?
Yeah, non-fungible token.
What does that mean?
I don't
know what's going on.
I've been accused of being non-fungible.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
The clinics welcome Dr. Noah Miller, family medicine physician, to our team. Dr. Miller from Vadrine, Louisiana, is now accepting new patients. Call today to schedule your appointment. The clinics offers a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, urgent and acute care with on-site lab and x-ray. Same-day appointments are available, and we accept most insurance and Medicare. Experience exceptional care at the clinics, 1587 North Bolton. Call 445-9823 or look us up online at theclinics.us.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. That's 800-885-9700.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Okay, so we're talking about things that are non-fungible. I guess that just means you can make money off of. But I was watching the Badgers game last night on the Big Ten Network, and all of a sudden they go to commercial, and I wasn't, I was like looking down, doing something, whatever, and all of a sudden, like I heard this voice, and I'm like, I recognize that voice. And I look up, and I'm like, I recognize that guy. And the commercial is it basically makes him into multiple versions where he's eating Blue Diamond almonds. Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute. So I paused it and I went back to watch the start of it, and it shows Josh Walker, basketball stunt person or something like that. I'm like, that's Steven's Josh Walker. That's Steven's cousin from Tiny Fairview, who has become a social media content creator with different sports challenges and stunts, I guess, if you will. A la, that's that group of guys that do all kinds of sports stunts.
Yeah.
But I'm like, so how does your cousin get a national commercial? That's amazing.
Well, it's interesting because I'm from Fairview, Allen Parish, Southwest Louisiana. Came from a very small school, K through 12, like an Oak Hill.
Yeah.
Or Plainview, except smaller. And from my school, my two best friends, this is Podunk, Louisiana.
Right.
I have Josh, who is like a social media star, makes money off social media. Like you said, he does all the sports tricks, like softball pitcher versus baseball hitter, who hits it or who strikes out, right? And then my other friend, Dylan, he has a country music, I guess, history or interesting story channel. And he basically lives in Nashville now and interviews like country music stars. Had Travis Tritt on the other day, millions of followers between them, and it's kind of interesting. I'm nothing compared to them.
And then there's you.
Yeah, I'm just a little old Sinlaw guy. So,
which is, it's incredible to me that here, you guys had a class of what when you graduated? How many people?
Mine was the biggest of 34.
34. All right. So between you and those other two and your cousin Philip, you used to make all these videos when you were in high school, kind of little short movies, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Like the one where Josh is like a prize fighter getting trained by Dylan.
Fun. Yeah, we shot that at LC.
Do it for the Wild. Then he gets knocked out on the first punch.
Yep.
What was the name of that one? Like something Heart?
Legendary Heart.
Legendary Heart.
I had so much fun with those. And like my humor is like you get built up for something epic and then it just falls completely the way you didn't think it would.
But a lot of those stories you created in your head, right?
Yeah, and I would just make it up as I go. And they probably came out with a poor result because of that in most people's eyes, but I had fun.
I mean, they were your actors, and I think you used one of our lab
Thank you, Elsie, for funding my shenanigans.
Like the camera known fondly as Jimmy.
No, Jimmy. Where is Jimmy?
He's in the locker that I have, but he doesn't. Well, he works, but the little flip out monitor broke.
Can I have Jimmy?
I probably should just give him to you.
I'll put him up in the Sinlaw Broadcasting display I have.
Yeah.
It's like a piece of history.
Where Steven cut his teeth.
That's right. So much fun.
Kind of like that guy on Fury, the old farmhand Pete who cut his teeth on a branding iron. Steven cut his teeth on Jimmy the camera.
I don't know what that reference is.
Before your time, there was a black and white TV show called Fury where Fury was a horse and he and the kid had like this special relationship.
Oh.
It's kind of like a horse.
Like Flipper.
It was like a horse version of Flipper or Lassie. Yes. And Peter Graves was actually the star of the show who went on to airplane fame, as we well know.
Stop calling me Shirley.
Do you like when Scraps rubs up and down your leg? You like Gladiator movies.
So dumb.
But so funny.
Is The Naked Gun out yet?
Yeah, it is out. I haven't gone to see it. I'll probably wait till it's streaming, but I've actually heard it's pretty funny.
It just didn't look good to me. But it might be funny. I don't want to judge it.
Yeah. It's just, with how much movies cost now, it's tough to say I'm going to take a chance on it.
Oh, I know. Me and my buddy went the other day, got 2 tickets and popcorn, 2 drinks, and a candy, and it was like $65, $70.
I know. It's just, it's getting to that price point where can you really justify it anymore?
I know.
And I love going to the movies.
Me too.
One of my all-time favorite, has always been one of my all-time favorite things to do.
That's my favorite pastime.
Yeah. Which I know for a lot of young people, or people that have grown up here in Alexandria, I always notice they have this incredible knowledge about filmmaking and movies and movie history and genres of movies and the backstories of movies, especially the superhero ones. And I'm like, I've thought about that. I'm like, why is that? And the reason why I think is because in central Louisiana, there's almost literally nothing else to do for younger people.
Could be.
Then go to the movies.
I'm going to let you say that. So.
I mean, I know we always say there are lots of things that you can do, but I think a lot of the things that you can do are more geared toward family.
No, I got you.
You know, or couples. But if you're in kind of that 14 to 25 age group.
Well, what did you do when you were a kid? I'm not being like
what did I do?
Combative. I'm just curious.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And of course, I grew up closer to a city. I grew up in a suburb of Milwaukee, but we would movies were definitely a big thing, but also going to like Brewers games, Bucks games, Marquette basketball games.
We definitely don't have that.
Right. I mean, I would go growing up at least 20 Brewers games a year.
I'm surprised it wasn't more.
Yeah. Some years it was. And, you know, we didn't have a lot of money, so we would always sit in the bleachers. Mom would always pack pre-made hot dogs because they would let you bring your own food.
No way.
Yeah, you could bring your own food. You could even bring like the big thermos, those round thermos things full of lemonade. Have our own lemonade.
People might think it's a bomb now or something.
I know. Yeah, you just walk. There was never security. You just, here's my ticket. Here's what I'm bringing in. Or big bag. We would go to the movies. My mom would pop like a couple of batches of popcorn and put them in those big brown grocery bags, and we would bring that into the theater with us.
Why do some professional sporting events have better security than our schools?
That's very fair.
When I go to Cowboys games, and I've been to a lot of them, metal detector.
That's your first Cowboys game. Just kidding. Look
at the metal detector. They pat you down.
Yeah.
And they have literal law enforcement officers with long rifles all around the stadium.
Yep.
High security.
I know. Why don't we do that for our schools?
That's right.
Because Jerry's not paying for that.
Well, the Cowboys got a lot of money to pay for.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Are you going to watch the Netflix documentary on the 90s Cowboys?
I do that. I'm not against it.
Oh, I think
I'm kind of on like a kick of, I've been watching a lot of Soviet Russia documentaries. Just kind of interesting. I go on like history kicks.
Yeah. What's been the biggest thing you've learned by watching those?
I mean, I forgot in World War II, they were, most of the deaths affiliated with that war were Russia and China.
Yeah.
I mean, completely decimated them.
Right.
You know, and I'm on the, you know, the Stalin stuff right now. Just interesting. So, I mean, dictators and cult personality cults, just got to watch out for them. That's all I got to say.
Careful now. You guys should see his little boyish grin right now.
I'm joking. It's a joke. No, I love history. It's fun.
You're going to trigger our conservatives in the audience.
That's not what I was saying.
I know you're not.
I'm not saying that. That's a bad argument that's not working on one side.
That's true. Yeah, they've tried that. It's not working.
But that could be a cause of concern, too. We just gloss over it and don't pay attention. On both sides.
Yeah.
Every time there's an overreach.
Yeah. Why was there no concern about how the Democrats put in a candidate for president without actually having a real primary?
100 freaking %.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
All right, we're back right.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Senators are working on fast-tracking Stephen Miron's Federal Reserve confirmation before the central bank's September rate meeting. The Senate Banking Committee will hold a hearing on Miron's confirmation next week to fill Adriana Kugler's vacant Fed governor's seat. Both Democrats and Republicans are expected to grill him over Trump's economic policies and efforts to influence interest rates. PepsiCo is increasing its stake in Celsius in a new $585 million deal to help boost distribution of some Celsius beverages. As part of the deal, Celsius will acquire Pepsi's Rockstar Energy brand in the U.S. and Canada. TransUnion says hackers accessed the personal information of more than 4 million customers. The credit reporting agency says data stored on a third-party app was compromised, but insists no credit information was stolen. And Peacock is now available on Prime Video. NBC, Universal, and Amazon agreed to a deal that makes the streaming service available as an add-on for an extra $16.99 a month. Monica Ricks, Bloomberg Radio.
You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to Today's Dental in Pineville, Virtual Align Clear Aligners, the fastest, most convenient, affordable way to straighten your teeth for people on the go. Plus, they're invisible. No one will know you're doing it. Experience the Virtual Align difference. Call Today's Dental at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. 448-4540.
Hi, I'm Katie Shirley Matthews. If you're planning a move, consider us at Hathorn Transfer. We're extremely proud to have won virtually every quality assurance award North American Van Lines has to offer. Over 70% of our business comes from the recommendations of satisfied customers. We've been doing it this way for over 70 years. Learn more about us at HathornTransferLA.com. Call us today for a free estimate. At Hathorn, we're building our reputation, not riding on it.
Well, good morning. Showers and thunderstorms with us throughout the day today. A 70% chance with the potential of some heavy rainfall. Afternoon highs will get up to around 80 degrees. Still a 60% chance of rain in the forecast overnight tonight, down to 70. And for Saturday, starting out with cloudy skies, partly cloudy in the afternoon with the highs near 86. A slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
It's Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Take shape on border division down in San Diego. We're going to advance this effort down in LA to other parts of the Central Valley, not just limited to Bakersfield, in partnership with Mayor Go there in San Bernardino. And we're going to expand this operation in a collaborative that continues to include the cities and counties, our partners in the sheriff's office and local law enforcement agencies. We continue as well to work with the federal partners. I'll remind you, in San Francisco, working with the Biden administration.
All right, that's Gavin Newsom yesterday. Had a big news conference, Stephen, to announce that they are surging law enforcement to address the crime situation in the state of California.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see his satirical Trump news conference that he had the other day?
Did I see
yesterday? Like he was holding up the papers of Sarah Huckabee Sanders saying Arkansas per capita has a higher rate than California or Los Angeles of crime, and Mississippi has the highest crime per capita in the nation.
No, I don't think I saw that.
He was doing a satirical news conference.
Okay.
Mocking Trump's
Imagine that.
cabinet meeting.
Imagine that. It's funny because he's mocking Trump, but he's trying to exactly pattern himself right now after Trump.
No, it's satirical. That's what J.D. Vance said, too. He's like, well, he's trying to beat Trump, but he can never beat Trump. No, he's making a point using satire. I'm not saying I like Gavin Newsom.
Right.
But that's just not a very good comeback. And the posts are kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like his Twitter posts are kind of funny.
I mean, here was part of that news conference as well. I got to play this clip for you. I'm not sure if this is the same, but this was the answer before that. Is that what he just said? Here, take a listen.
They are higher, and at the same time, we're here because you're surging law enforcement across the state. So, do you believe that crime is a problem in California or not?
Well, sort of a curious question. I made the entire point that crime's an issue and we want to tackle it, and we continue to do more in that space. And we announced and highlighted some of the expansion. What is not contradictory, respectfully, is that we're doing it in partnership with our local communities. We did it in partnership with the Biden administration prior. We're not talking about the nationalization, the militarization of the Guard and militarizing United States cities. So quite the contrary.
That's true. Should be local police forces, state police forces.
And then right after that, they ended the news conference. But yeah, the question is hard to hear, but the person was saying, you're basically saying that you don't have a crime problem, but yet you're surging law enforcement because now you're saying you do have a crime problem. So what is it?
Yep, they have a crime problem, and it should be left to the states and local governments to figure it out.
Yes, ideally, no question about it. But what do you do when they fail to do that, as he has greatly failed, and the city of Los Angeles and other locales, San Francisco, have greatly failed at doing that. When I got to take a trip to California back in, 2017, 2018, where we did a train ride from Denver to Reno, and then we did a bus tour kind of all down the coast. My least favorite part of the tour, easily, San Francisco. It's a crap hole. I mean, it should be a beautiful city. It should be one of America's greatest cities to show off, but they take you to this lookout point where you can look over the whole city, and then you look down below, and it was just piles of trash left from homeless camps. And I'm like, so this is the message that you want. The hotel that we stayed at was like right downtown in kind of the heart of the business district, and we had the evening off. We could go wherever we want to. So there was an Italian restaurant down the street, and we were walking down to it. We must have passed 50 homeless people on the street doing drugs. Like, I at that point definitely wished I was carrying a gun.
And that's all valid points, and I think that's true for a lot of American cities, and it's a problem. But we need to focus on what we have here in Louisiana. It looks like third world countries in some parts.
No, I agree.
We have a crime issue.
When I first moved down here, I was shocked at just some of the trashiness of, and not just in the city. There's a place, if you drive on Highway 71 going from like Grand Parish up toward Bossier, it's on the road. You drive past it. It's like 4 or 5 maybe mobile homes. It literally looks like they just throw the trash out of their front door, and it's all on. It's like, how do people live like this?
We're here criticizing California and New York. I'm sure they have their problems, but like, look in the mirror. I love Louisiana. I choose to be here even after I left. This is my home. I want to see it do better. But if you take Louisiana and compare it with some other countries as its own country, we're like on par with Moldova with our poverty and crime rates. Let's fix our own problems. Like, there's issues we have, and it's kind of ironic criticizing other states in the areas that have their own problem. I mean, California is much more successful than the state of Louisiana. They have their problems. I mean, they have the 4th highest GDP in the world if you set them aside.
Right. Yeah, no, California.
No, I don't want to live in California, but
I mean, and that's was one of my takeaways from traveling through the state. It's an absolutely gorgeous state with tremendous resources. It shouldn't have to be that way. You know, and what's funny is they can do it. And you know how I know that they can do it? What I mean by can do it is they can clean it up. Remember when Xi came to visit San Francisco and Gavin instantly cleaned up the streets, and there were no homeless camps, and everybody.
Super Bowl in Louisiana.
Yeah, true. So we can do it. We just a lot of times choose not to do it.
Yeah. So I think that's what a lot of people are concerned about, is they're only targeting Democrat states and cities at this point. But look at some of these conservative states that have their own problems.
Yeah, but it's not usually in the conservative areas of those states.
Louisiana, Mississippi?
No, I know, but I'm saying if you look at where a lot of that is the blight, if you will, it's not usually in areas that are heavily conservative.
I don't know if that's true in some of these smaller southern states. I'm trying to go about this delicately without bashing everything.
Like what? You talking about like out in the country that people live trashy?
Sometimes.
No, you're right.
Small towns.
You're right.
Looks like a third world country.
Yeah. But how many of those are Republican run, do you think?
There's hundreds of thousands. I have to do the numbers, I guess. You know? Shreveport's Republican run.
Now it is. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
But it wasn't before, right?
It goes back and forth, so I just don't know what we're trying to argue here. It doesn't matter what party it is. We shouldn't just base it on party. Let's fix our own problems. We don't need the federal government to come in. That's why it just looks like politically motivated.
Right, I understand that's your point, but even Bowser is saying now that It's getting a lot better. And D.C., as I mentioned the other day, is a different animal.
What happens when they leave, or if they ever leave? If he goes to New York, what happens when they leave?
Or maybe him threatening to go to those is why someone like Newsom is doing what he's doing now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which is the heart of the deal.
And sometimes I think, and I think that's how the president thinks with things too, like him wanting to take public ownership partly of Intel.
Yeah.
Some conservatives are ticked off about it.
Oh, yeah, very much
because they say that's socialism.
Yeah.
He's thinking that at the moment transactional. He says, we can make money off of this. This is how I think.
Right.
I can threaten you with, I don't want to say federal overreach, but militarizing your cities because I know it's going to have an immediate effect and I'm transactional.
Yeah.
Without maybe thinking about the long-term ramifications of militarizing American cities.
Yeah.
So that's just how the guy thinks. And that's how we know the guy thinks.
Yeah.
But he's not naive to the other side of the story either.
Right.
So we just, if you're on the right, you have to trust that this isn't going to be a permanent thing, right? You hope this doesn't devolve into something worse or set a horrible precedent.
Right.
No matter who the president is.
This is what we voted for. We need to take a break. And we'll come back with some calls.
KSYL.
Timber and oil and gas built Central Louisiana. Advances in carbon capture and storage have come along to make Cenla a business leader once again. Now, groups outside Louisiana spreading lies and misinformation have convinced some friends and neighbors to oppose this game-changing industry. The truth? Carbon capture is safe and will provide hundreds of jobs and millions of dollars for schools and roads. Log on for facts at AmericanEnergySecurityProject.org.
The Acadian Ambulance membership enrollment is now open. Members enjoy many benefits, including a 30% discount on ambulance transports, a nationwide discount program on products and services you use every day, and savings on medical alert and security systems. Protect your family for just $84 a year. Learn more about all the benefits and the low cost of membership by calling 800-256-JOIN or visit myacadian.com. Hurry, the deadline is Friday, September 5th.
Nothing to do?
Cenla's got you covered.
Fall Fest is full of family-friendly fun. It's coming to Coattail Lake and Boyce on Saturday, September the 6th. Enjoy live music, a kids zone, food vendors, arts and craft vendors. Load up the kids for a fun day at the lake.
Love local arts? Then make plans for Saturday, September 13th as the Cenla Artists Market comes to Fighting Hand Brewing Company. Enjoy local art and meet the artists while sipping a craft beer. Details on Facebook.
Come celebrate National Hunting and Fishing Day on Saturday, September the 27th at the LDWF Education Facility in Woodworth. It's a free event offering fishing, shooting activities, door prizes, and more. Learn more online.
Make plans now for the Red Wagon 5K and 1 Mile Wagon Pool on Saturday, October 4th at the Louisiana Athletic Club in Pineville. It's a fun-filled day of exercise and activities for the whole family. Check it out online.
Go have some fun.
Cenla Broadcasting.
The 70 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK back.
Name the artist. Can you?
No.
Adam Ant.
Who?
Adam Ant.
I know.
Formerly of Adam and the Ants. Then he went solo as Adam Ant.
Oh.
That was Goody Goody Two Shoes. A song that was popular around 1983 when I was a senior in high school.
It sounded like it was an older song than that.
Yeah. No, early 80s.
Cool.
So, all right, let's go back to the phones on the BOM Bank Talk line. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning. This is a twofer. I know y'all prefer not, but I couldn't let you younger hosts there get away with some of what he's saying.
Okay.
Okay. This is really, really simple. It's not really a Republican and Democrat issue. It's a behavior issue.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. What demographic group in the United States has the following: the lowest out of wedlock birth rate, the lowest divorce rate, the highest high school and college graduation rate, is tied with the next group on poverty rate, and has the lowest armed robbery and rape rates.
What demographic?
Yep. What ethnic demographic?
Asian?
You are absolutely correct. Give yourself a gold star. Teenage Asian girls have out of wedlock children at half the rate of white girls. Now, flip it and guess who the other end is? Yeah, you can say it.
White people?
Because I'll tell you why. Because men like Cornelius are few and far between.
No, they're a lot more than.
It's a behavior issue, guys.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. If you Google and you graph, now this is what we talk about, correlation versus causation. If you Google out of wedlock birth rates on the graph, and you Google homicide rates, they track.
Yeah. No, the breakup of the family, especially sadly, that we've seen in the African American community since the Great Society of LBJ, it's been talked about a lot for sure.
Oh yeah, and of course, and when us white, or in my case, mostly white, people discuss it, we get screamed at as, "Oh, you're racist." Well, no, Don Lemon talked about it.
Yeah.
And he's hardly a conservative.
Right.
But, and the number one indication for poverty for children across all demographic groups is whether or not they're in a single parent or two parent home. All this is statistical data.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it's not in every case. You look at someone like Ben Carson and the way his mom raised him and his brother.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the best books I think that people can read is by Dr. Thomas Sowell. It's called White Liberals and Black Rednecks.
Interesting.
And it's available on Amazon. But people just don't read anymore and study.
Yeah, no, that's true.
They're like, well, I did that in school. I'm not doing that anymore.
I don't get why that had to be your young host. What did I say anything about that?
No, when you just said, oh, it's across all stuff. I'm like, no, and it's more. Now, when you're talking about what I call them white trailer trash, and here again, broken homes, education, that sort of thing.
Yeah, because if you look at one of
the solution to not being poor is pretty simple. Don't get pregnant or get somebody pregnant. Finish high school. Go to trade school or college with your choice, or just, and get a job. Save your money. It's not rocket surgery or brain science.
Okay. But it is everywhere in every state. That would be the point I would make. Yeah.
But now look, and it's not Democrat or Republican. Look at Vermont and New Hampshire.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Their crime rates are exceedingly low, and they have pretty lenient gun laws, too.
Yep.
But it's a behavior issue, guys. Strictly behavior.
All right. Thank you for that.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, but I mean, you can take areas like Appalachia where it's white people almost.
The vice president would say something about that.
Oh, yeah. J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
But it shows you can rise through that, through things like education. And so.
And the solution is probably not the military to fix that problem.
Yeah. Probably not throwing more money at it either.
I don't know. I'm sure if someone had the answer to this question.
Well, I think it all starts with the family, having functional families. And when the society loses that, it's not far-fetched to think the society loses itself.
Functional families, functional communities.
Yeah.
Some sense of authority.
Yes.
And in those communities and respect.
Yeah. An authority that has integrity.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be white Christian. It doesn't have to be it could be anything. We need community in our country, and we lack that.
No, you better not say it takes a village.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Louisiana forests once fueled our economy. Your granddad logged these woods. So did your dad. And now, Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is keeping that legacy alive, turning thinnings and wood byproducts into clean fuel right here in Pineville. It means more jobs, stronger forests, and a future that honors where Central Louisiana came from. Be part of Louisiana's next chapter. Visit BeaverLakeRenewable.com and find out how we're putting Central Louisiana back on the map.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cenla's best at Bricato's restaurant. Walk right in and just
Smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt-in-your-mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Mercado's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
Talk back. To take part of the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Oh, gosh. Welcome back,
I would not want to be a professor.
Talking about the joys of younger people sometimes. All right. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. So a few commercials ago,
we're
talking about the actions of Trump, right?
Okay.
That's exactly what I voted for. I voted for somebody to come in there and do things differently, not be the same old politicians that we've been electing for generations that are just wasting our country away. I want somebody to come in and think differently. Think of it as a business.
Right.
Think of it as what we're electing them to do. Go and fight for us, not for every other little special interest.
Right. Right.
Work
Exactly.
efficiently for the American people. And if the local governments are doing such a bad job with protecting their own stuff, their own people, maybe the federal government does need to step in. I mean,
maybe we should vote in different leaders too.
100% agree.
No, I mean,
100% agree.
I think the big issue is lack of civic participation.
Yes.
Everyone's not like you, man. You know what I mean?
You're 100%. I encourage people to vote and not just vote dumbly. Just don't just vote for R's and D's. You got to read what's on the ticket, and you got to actually look at who the people are you're voting for, because R's and D's don't really matter. It's the people who are making the decision.
Right.
I'm not thrilled with our governor. I voted for him, but I don't think he's doing everything that he should be doing for us. I'm not thrilled with everything Trump does, but I voted for him, and I'm happy to see the changes.
Maybe if you bought a plane and took the governor turkey hunting, he would do stuff for you.
And I just don't have those kind of turkey aspirations. Thanksgiving is good with me with a pig.
I hear you. That's better.
You could invite him to the golf course. Maybe give him a couple of free rounds.
Yeah, hey, that's a good idea. We might have to have a conversation over around the golf.
There you go.
And like, it's a serious note too. And we always look to politicians, and they play an important role in our lives, of course. But what are we doing as citizens?
Yeah.
How are we trying to make our community better? You know what I mean? Like, what are we actually doing to make it better when something is egregious in our community? How are we stepping up to the plate and calling out these problems and trying to make it better? And I'm not criticizing anyone here. I'm talking about other cities.
Even look at like your industry. I'm sure you deal with.
In this town,
go ahead.
This town, I don't live in the cities. So we live out in the parish.
Sure.
If we have a problem, we reach out to the sheriff's deputy.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff's department generally takes care of stuff in our area, so we don't have issues.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak for those who live in town, but if I lived in Ellick, I'd be on the phone with the mayor and the elected officials on a regular basis, at least blowing up their emails on a regular basis, letting them know that we're not pleased with what's going on in our town.
And I wasn't asking what are you doing? I'm just saying in general, I feel like that's part of the problem,
Well, the breakdown of the family, like Al said, is huge. If you have a good moral compass, you're going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And if there's consequences to your immoral actions, then I think those are all deterrents. But we don't have consequences.
It seemed like when I was growing up, you kind of had two different kind of kids that were the troublemakers. It was either A, those who were from broken homes, or B, who were from really rich homes.
Or preacher's kids.
That were super entitled.
Or the PKs.
Wow, I didn't know any of those growing up. We didn't have preachers. We only had priests, and they didn't have kids.
The deacon's kids.
Not in the classical sense. But be that as it may, we're out of time for today. Thanks, Adam. Hope you have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
And like Mayor Roy in Alexandria said, there's only so much government can do. Like there is almost so much policing they can do.
Right.
They don't have the key to fix crime in Alexandria or anywhere else. There's only so much a politician can do. Take responsibility for yourself or your family. Maybe we'll have.
You've been listening to Talkback.
Have a great
The
weekend,
opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers.